Crafty with Carolyn. My name's Carolyn Levitsky, and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! I love my job. I want to thank you for joining me today. It makes my heart happy that you're here, and I must confess, this is only the second video that I've done. So I do hope you enjoy it, and I hope you watch the whole video. And perhaps you watch my first video where I made a very pretty pop-up card using the butterfly from Butterfly Bijou. Well, today we're going to make a lovely Scrappy card using gold gilded leaf. And let me show you the card we're going to make. I used the True Love Designer series making this card, and I think that's very pretty. I've made it also using the Butterfly Bijou, which I think is also a very pretty card. Can you see the gold leafing as I turn that? You know, it's so pretty. I just decided that I didn't think it needs a butterfly. However, we will try it with and without. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera down so that you could see the work area. And let me get you all set here so you could see everything I'm doing. I think that looks good. All right, so we are going to start with a basic cardstock. It's 11 inches by 2 3/4 inches. It's scored at 5 1/2. We also have a double-sided piece of adhesive, which is cut at 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. And we are using Blushing Bride, which is cut 3 inches by 5 3/4 inches. And we also have black basic cardstock, which is 4 1/2 inches by 6 3/4 inches. And we're going to start with this particular black basic cardstock first. And the first thing that you need to do is run it through your embossing machine. And I used the embossing folder called Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder. Now when you put your cardstock in, you're going to notice that it's a little longer than the folder. So what I've done is I've tipped and put the side that was not embossed, that was a little too long for this folder, put it in like that, and then ran it through the machine, and I came out with, and I hope you can see the embossing on that, I came out with something like this. All right, the next thing you do is you're going to take a white ink pad and you're going to gently go over the embossing to bring this out, to bring out the design. I think that's very pretty, and that's where we're going to start. You do not have to press, or you should not have to press, and I'm going to get a sheet of paper to put under it. You should not have to press hard. And actually, what is going to be seen is the outside perimeter of this particular backing. the inside is not going to be seen, but I'm going to do it anyway. Makes my heart happy to see it all done. So what you need to watch for is that your outside perimeter is done well. And we'll get rid of the stamp pad. And here it is. I think that's very pretty. We'll put that aside for now. Our next step is going to be putting on the double-sided adhesive. And I may need to use my pick tool to get it started, and that's okay. After you when you take the sheet, the cover sheet off, you want to watch and see which side has the sticky to it. And for now, it's this side, so I'm going to remove this. But I'm not going to remove it all the way because I want to be able to handle it. It is very sticky. So I need my grid sheet so that I can get it to stay on properly. And what we do is we line it up at the top, and then we just slide the covering off. And now we need to take off, and I need my big tool again. We need to take off this part. Just peel it right up and discard that. Doesn't matter which end you start at. You could start at the top or bottom. And I do want to point out to you that I have my strips. We're using the Designer Series True Love. It's one of my favorite, by the way. They come in 12 by 12 inch square sheets. And I had so much of them cut out in different areas, so what I did is I just cut them all down to 1-inch strips, and they are all different sizes because I've been using them. You flip them over and you have another design on the back side. Who knows what the back side may be? They're pretty on both sides. So we're going to start by putting the very first piece on. And I don't need a very long piece for this. We're going to go into the middle of this with the pointed end up at the middle, and then we're just going to tack that down. And then we need to put a little piece here. Let me see if I have something smaller. Yeah, this should fit very well. Now, as you're putting your next piece in, oh, maybe not. As you're putting your next piece in, you do have to leave a space. You want to line it up with the piece next to it, so your space is equal. And you do have to leave a space between. And let's see, we'll put this here. That will fit okay. And we want to get it nice and straight. There. The next piece, we need to choose something different. As you can see, I have each different type right here in front of me, so I can grab what I think I need. And we're going to do this here. We're going to line this edge up with this edge and leave a little gap there between this, this, and that, and press. And then we're going to take this piece, line it up with the piece next to it and the piece in front of it, and press. Now I think you've got the idea. Let me show you what you're going to come out with when you're done. You're going to come out with something looking very much like this. A lot of floppy stuff, which we are going to take our paper snips and we're just going to cut as close to the card as we can without cutting into it. Alright, and this is what you come out with. I think that's very pretty already before we even put the gold leaf on. And then we're just going to take these and put them to one side with all the rest. We just don't need them anymore. They serve their purpose. Now let me bring out the gold leaf. This is the way it comes in this type of a jar. And when you open it up, you'll be amazed at the amount that's in there. It's all packed down. Now, I don't like to work from the jar because this can be extremely, it can be messy. It all depends on the person using it. So what I've done is I've dumped a jar like that into a plastic container, and this is what came out of that one jar. And to be honest with you, I've already used it about 3 or 4 times on other cards. So again, we need to bring in a sheet of paper and put it down so our work area is protected. And this is what you do. You take the gold leafing. You don't need a lot so just take a little at a time, put it where you want it, spread it over some of the areas, and you just rub. And all that adhesive that you put down in the beginning is sticky enough where it will catch the gold leaf and hold on to it. And you just keep running. Now, I did not put a whole lot on this card to start out with, but look at how far that little bit is going. It's a fast and very simple and easy project to do. Take a little more. That's probably too much. And sometimes you may find that the glue on the adhesive paper did not adhere to every part of your card. Well, we don't need to worry about that because we're going to be decorating the card in the end. So we should be able to cover up any spots. Like I have one line right down here that the gold leaf is not sticking to, which means my paper did not have any glue, or somehow it got lost while I was pulling off the paper. Alright, to clean it up, now it wasn't that fast. To clean it up, you just take your fingernail and rub it over to get any excess off. And I will pick it up and show you the results. And the difference the gold leafing makes in your card. Isn't that pretty? All right. Now we're going to pick this up and carefully put it back into the container. After all, we don't want to lose any of it because we want to continue to use it and we want to have enough to use. Cover that up. If you're ever using a heat gun, you certainly want to keep that covered up. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to attach the card to the Blushing Bride base. We're going to use our mat. This mat is absolutely a wonderful tool. Not only does it help me get my tape runner started, but it keeps my surface, and most importantly, it keeps the surface of my work area free from being tacky and sticky. Okay, we're going to carefully, I am going to turn this card on the side. When it comes to putting things down and getting them straight, I have a problem. So I have found through another demonstrator that the way to put it on is to turn it on its side, and it's easier, and she's absolutely right. Now there you have that. And this will pick up to show you the inside. Oops, I think the loop, there you go. This is now going to sit on top of the black, which you've already embossed and put a white covering on to show the pretty designs in that. So I'm going to turn this over again. We're going to grab our tape runner. Once you get used to using the tape runner and practice with it a little bit, it works fine. You just need to know and how to work it, and mostly if you keep it more upright and using your mat, does help. Well, we're going to line this up by turning it around and placing this as much in the middle as we possibly can. Well, that was easy enough. And there we have the card all put together. Didn't take long. Not pretty? Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to decorate it. Well, I was going to put gems on first, but I think perhaps we should decorate the card. Now, I do have a very pretty butterfly that I can't put on. I can put this on, like so. It matches the Blushing Bride, and I think that is pretty. I'm going to wait before I put that on. I sort of like it without the butterfly. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is put our label on. And as you can see, I have a very pretty label here. And you may be saying, oh, isn't that very pretty? Because it's black and white on white, or white on black, and it has pretty scallops around the edge. And that we have made with our lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. It gives you two options. And all you do is once you unlock it on the back, you put a piece of paper in or cardstock in, and then on the back you turn it over, you line it up like so, and then you just punch. Take it out, and you could see the difference between one end and the other. And then of course you would turn it around and do the same thing at this end. Very nice, very easy and simple. So we need to line our label up and get our black ink pen, and we're going to say thank you. When you stamp, use your stamp pad, you should go all around the pad. You should not try to keep everything in one spot, because you'll wear that spot down and the ink in it. When you put your stamp and ink to the paper, to the cardstock, hold it for a few seconds. You'll get a better looking better label. We need to put some dimensionals on the back, but first I need to close up this ink pad because we don't want anything happening. So we're going to take and put, I think we're going to need 3 labels for this. And we use our pick tool to remove paper, makes it so much easier. And now we're going to cover up that spot that had no adhesive and doesn't show the gold that's on there. And we need to decide, do we want a butterfly? It's pretty, it matches the Blushing Bride cardstock. Maybe we do, and I did put a little dimensional on there, and I'll just leave that there like that. I also have a very pretty black bow, and this is glittered organdy ribbon, and it actually does have a nice little glitter to it. And we do need a glue dot. Oops. And since the butterfly's on this side, we'll put this above and put it a little more to the other side. Now the only thing left is to put some pretty iridescent pearls on here. I think we'll give our butterfly a little pearl. And then we'll take and put this here. Now I'm told that when you're putting gems on your card, that you should put them in odd numbers, 3s, 5s, 7s. They say it's more pleasing to the eye. So I have 3. I think I'll put a couple more on. Put one down here. And perhaps another one on our little butterfly. And now our card is done. And I'll show that to you. I think that's a beautiful card. And you, of course, can put some ribbon or some cardstock that matches the front on the inside if you'd like. So, I do hope that you have enjoyed our session today. I hope you'll come back, and please, if you liked what I did, give me a thumbs up, press that subscribe button, and also ring the bell so that the next time I'm on video, you can get a notification that I'm here and come and watch me. So I do hope you'll have an enjoyable rest of your day today. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye now.